Dear students, welcome to my class. I hope you are enjoying sound health and going on well with your studies. Now, I would like to introduce myself. I am Kaji Muhammad Habibullah, Assistant Professor, English, Kumilla Government College, Kumilla. This is a class for Honours First Year, English, course Introduction to Poetry, date 8 September 2020. Here are pictures of some great persons. Do you know them? Yes, you are right. The first one is Michael Madhusudan Dutt. He is a famous Bangla sonneteer. The second one is William Shakespeare. He is a famous English dramatist. He is also a famous English sonneteer. And the last one is Petrarch. He is a famous Italian poet. He is the founder of the form of poetry known as sonnet. So, all of them are great sonnetteers. I have shown you these pictures because today I am going to discuss a sonnet. The topic of my today's discussion is On His Blindness, an autobiographical sonnet by John Milton. Now, let us know a brief profile of John Milton. He was born in 1608. His birthplace was Bradstreet of London in England. He post-graduated in 1632 and his literary writings covered two periods, that was Puritanism and Restoration period. Unfortunately, he became blind in 1652. But interestingly, his major works were written after his blindness. His most famous epics of English literature were Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained. And he also wrote a famous tragedy, that was Samson Agonistes. This great poet died in 1674. Learning outcome of this lesson. At the end of this lesson, the students will be able to define sonnet, talk about the theme of the poem, analyze the structure and rhyme scheme of the poem. Now, let us know the definition of sonnet. A sonnet is a type of lyric poem consisting of 14 iambic pentameter lines linked by a rhyme scheme. So, the key points about a sonnet is, it's a lyric, it consists of 14 lines, the lines are composed of iambic pentameter and there is a specific rhyme scheme. Now, I would like to discuss different types of sonnet. On the basis of structure and rhyme scheme, sonnets are of three types. Petrarchan sonnet. This type of sonnet was introduced by Petrarch. The next type is Spenserian sonnet. This type of sonnet was introduced by the famous English poet Edmund Spenser, and the last one is Shakespearean sonnet. This type of sonnet was popularized by William Shakespeare. Now we have got to discuss On His Blindness. Let us see what type of sonnet it is. Yes, it's a Petrarchan sonnet. Now, I would like to recite the poem for you. On His Blindness by John Milton. When I consider how my light is spent, ere half my days in this dark world and wide, and that one talent which is death to hide, lost with me useless, though my soul more bent to serve therewith my Maker, and present my true account, lest he returning chide. Doth God exact day labor, light denied? I fondly ask, but patience to prevent that murmur soon replies, God doth not need either man's work or his own gifts. Who best bear his mild yoke? They serve him best. His state is kingly, thousands at his beating speed, and post o'er land and ocean without rest. They also serve who only stand and wait. Now, I would like to discuss the theme of the poem. In the first 8 lines of the poem, the poet laments the loss of his eyesight at an early age. He also fears that God will punish him for not using his poetic talent in God's service. Thus, there is a tone of lamentation in the first 8 lines. But there is no complaint at all from Milton's part. Rather, he contemplates on his own failure to serve God properly because of his blindness. In the last 6 lines, the poet consoles himself saying that God doesn't need man's service. God has vast resources at his disposal to accomplish what he wants. He only wants our hearts, our love, and our full abandonment to his will. Thus, there is a tone of consolation in the last 6 lines of the poem. Now, let us discuss the structure of the poem. The first 8 lines highlight a problem. This portion of the poem is called octave. The last 6 lines give solution to the problem. This portion of the poem is called sestet. Now, I would like to analyze the rhyme scheme of the poem. In this poem, the first line rhymes with 4th, 5th, and 8th lines. These lines end with similar sounds. For example, spent, bent, present, prevent. We can mark these lines with the letter A. Then the second line rhymes with the 3rd, 6th, and 7th line. These lines end with similar sounds. For example, wide, hide, chide, denied. We can mark these lines with the letter B. In the sestet, the 9th line rhymes with the 12th line, ending with need and speed. We can mark these lines with the letter C. Then the 8th line rhymes with then the 10th line rhymes with the 13th line, ending with the sounds best and rest. We can mark these lines with the letter D. And finally, the 11th line rhymes with the 14th line. These two lines end with similar sounds, state and wait. We can mark these lines with the letter E. For easy remembrance of the rhyme scheme of the poem, we have decorated the letters of the rhyme scheme in a beautiful tree. Here we can see the rhyme scheme of the poem: A B B A B B A, C D E, C D E. I have discussed the poem. Now I would like to give you an assignment. Evaluate on his blindness as a sonnet. Submit the assignment through email within 7 days. If you have any difficulty in preparing the assignment, or if you have any type of question regarding this poem, you can ask me through our telephone. You have got my mobile number in the video, so you can ask any type of question. I have come to the end of my lecture. Thank you all. Stay home, stay safe.